Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Jeff, and on behalf of StriveScan, certainly want to welcome you to this session of the Hawaii ACAC Virtual College Fair. We have four institutions this afternoon that will be presenting. As a reminder for attendees, your cameras are turned off and you are muted, but you can ask questions of any of the institutions at any point along the way in the Q&A box below. Today, we're going to hear from Macalester College, Baylor University, Grinnell College, and the University of Massachusetts Lowell. We will get started with Macalester College.
Awesome. Thanks so much. My name is Micaiah Resner. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm an admissions officer and first year support coordinator for Macalester College admissions. I'm actually an alum of Macalester as well. I graduated in the class of 2019. So Macalester College is a small, private, residential, and selective liberal arts school located in St. Paul, Minnesota, on the ancestral homeland of the Dakota people. And I make this acknowledgement not just to honor the land of the people who live in our school, but also to really highlight what makes Macalester unique. And one of those is being our location. So there are not that many urban liberal arts schools. And we are one of the few. And that really allows students to take advantage of not only a small campus environment where we're only about 2,100 students, just undergrad, with 17 as the average class size, 10-to-1 student faculty ratio, but also to take advantage of all the resources in an urban context, whether that's going to be for academics, internships, research, experimental learning opportunities, but also for your social life, to go to different professional sporting events, to check out the different markets and festivals, and just cultural diversity in the cities and things like that. And we are a residential school, which means that students do live on campus for 2 years, and that's really part of the experimental immersive community that we try to build. So some quick stats about Macalester really values diversity, but not just in racial, ethnic, national lens, but just in everything that a student will bring to campus and contribute to their fellow students. So about 35% of our student body identify as Black, Indigenous, or people of color. About 16% are first in their families to attend a four-year institution. We have all 50 states represented on campus, including DC, Guam, and Puerto Rico, and including 98 different countries represented on campus and over 76 different languages spoken. We have four core values, first being academic excellence, internationalism, multiculturalism, and service to society. And just to talk about all those, obviously academics is why you're going to college, and students definitely take it seriously. It is a rigorous curriculum, but it's not overly competitive. We really believe in collaborative learning and interdisciplinary thinking. For internationalism, like I mentioned, we have students coming from all over the world, and we really value building bridges across differences, thinking about what can you learn from your peers on campus, and how to solve, or work on complex problems. With multiculturalism, we really intend to learn how to communicate across differences, to not be afraid of challenging conversations and things like that. And then with service, we do not make volunteering mandatory. Students just do it anyways. About 96% of students record doing some kind of community service work while they are a student, and there's tons of ways to get involved, from just having the state capitol down the road to the various nonprofits and schools nearby. Just some examples. So I did mention that we are a fairly small school, which is really nice because students are not competing for the resources with a very large student body. It is very common for students to find an internship. We have over 300 internship locations around the Twin Cities that you can be involved in, from various different academic fields, from politics to education, medical field. I think one of the misnomers of liberal arts is that it's only the arts, and that's not true at all. We actually have numerous robust STEM programs so if you're thinking about pre-med and things like that, you can find a pre-med track advisor and also think about doing some kind of internship. We try to help students get acclimated to the college environment through a first year course, which is where the expectations around academics are set from your first year advisor, but they'll also help you transition and find resources on campus like the librarians or health and wellness or the Department of Multicultural Life and things like that. So you can feel like you have place, you know where to go when you need help on certain things. I did mention that internships and research are really popular because, like I said, you can have access to those in the Twin Cities, but also students will take what they're working on abroad. Study away is actually a really popular, and some of the times the reason why students choose Macalester. We call it study away because you don't even have to go abroad. You could just go to an institution somewhere in the United States as well. It's really built into our internationalism value. We have 90 pre-approved programs in over 50 countries. So if you're thinking about any kind of languages, we can get you immersed in many of those. It's usually for a semester, your junior year. And what is really great is that financial aid is actually applied to that semester as well. When it comes to the different majors, like I mentioned, we do have like STEM, humanities, and social sciences. And we actually really encourage students to continue to dabble in different departments and different things, even if you didn't think that you would actually ever study them, or you may not think they actually are relevant to what you want to study. But we really encourage interdisciplinary learning. You can take classes that you never would have thought about, and it won't really hurt against reaching your major requirements. We do require that students are proficient in a second language, which really builds into our internationalism values as well. And we encourage students, or students are actually required, but they encourage them to do research all 4 years, including a senior capstone project. So it's something that you get to work on with your advisors. And advisors are a great way to not just do research while you're in school, but also to start thinking about what you want to do post-grad. And then you can be able to think about opportunities, jobs, fellowships, or maybe going off to do a graduate or a PhD program. Awesome. And then just to wrap up, we do meet 100% of financial demonstrated need. So every student has the opportunity to meet all the need that they would, their family may need. We are a test optional school. We have waived the application fees forever. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us and we'll get you connected with someone. Thanks.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Students, don't forget, you can ask questions at any time along the way. Feel free to use the Q&A box below. Next up, we have Baylor University.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Let me just share my screen. And can everybody see the Baylor screen? Is that good? All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anis Korzal. I am the admissions counselor responsible for the state of Hawaii. So I'm very honored to be here. And so thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about us. Hawaii's been a significant state for us as far as admissions, and the number of students coming out from Hawaii have only increased year after year. So unfortunately, we couldn't visit this past year, but we can't wait to get back. I want to give you guys in our short overview some quick facts about Baylor, but like everyone said, please do contact us if you have any questions after this presentation. We know it's short, but we're here as a resource for you. So Baylor, we are in the state of Texas. Those of you who have visited, it's a very large place. We are the oldest university in continuous operation in Texas. So we actually were founded before Texas was, and we're very proud of that. And all of our shields and our rings, it actually says founded under the Republic of Texas. And we're located in Waco, which is right in the center, the epicenter of the state, surrounded by some of these major markets that you may recognize. Waco, if you've ever watched that show Fixer Upper, that's where it is, but it's a great, great place to be. I'm originally from Spain and came to Baylor for my undergraduate and graduate studies. And not only was Baylor extremely attractive to me, but being in Texas was too. And to give you guys just a snapshot of opportunities, you have more Fortune 500 companies in Texas than pretty much anywhere else in the world, which is an excellent way to get your foot in the door at some of these major corporations that you can see just from this list I'm providing here. And being at Baylor really does give you a leg up with that. We are a private institution, maybe a little bit of a larger private institution. Undergraduates, we're about 14,000 students, over 140 different majors. Research is a priority at Baylor. So even for undergraduate students, we're involved in research. But what I loved about Baylor and what made me choose Baylor is that even though from the outside, Baylor may seem very big, if you guys are watching March Madness, it's pretty cool to see the success Baylor has athletically. But when you're on campus, it feels like a really small place with average class size of only about 26 students, 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you do feel like you're at a smaller school. Another advantage of being a larger research institution is that we have some programs that are the highest ranked in their categories. And so for you coming in from out of state, you come to a school that's recognized around the world for some of its programs. Once again, that's a good segue into what comes after your academic career, whether it's going on to grad school or into the workforce. Baylor definitely stands out. We have a very robust engineering program. Being in Texas, it's a huge part of what we do, from petroleum to mechanical, electrical. It's a very, very big part of what we do, and a very highly ranked program. About a third of our incoming student population will come in a pre-healthcare discipline. And I'll talk about that briefly here in a minute, but Baylor is very, very, very well known around the world for its healthcare, including programs that join Baylor College of Medicine and Baylor undergrad in one, joint programs for dental and medical, which is pretty exciting. We have a very, very robust School of Business that's also extremely popular. Some programs like our entrepreneurship are top 10 ranked consistently. And so we believe in that very entrepreneurial spirit when it comes to business, but over 20 different majors within our incredible business school. And like I said, some of these programs only exist at Baylor, and some of them are extremely, extremely highly ranked. These are some of the employers that actually come onto campus to recruit our students. And so a lot of these brands you may recognize and be familiar with. Once again, being in Texas, it helps a lot. But here are some stats to put that into context. The number of businesses and number of interviews that happen on campus for our students. And so just being associated with Baylor tends to give you really an advantage, like I said, in the professional world. What I'd mentioned before about the healthcare, why we're so popular, 71% of Baylor pre-med students are admitted into medical school. That's about double the national average. So students know that if they come through our pre-med program, they have a very, very high chance of getting into not only Baylor College of Medicine, but any college of medicine across the country. Same with law school at about 87% acceptance rate. Student life, we are a very, very vibrant university. Like I mentioned before, we're a Division I Big 12 school. Both our men's and women's just made it to the Elite Eight in the tournament, which is very, very exciting. Everything is bigger in Texas, so like our facilities, our stadiums, everything's just done huge. We have over 330 different clubs and organizations for students to be involved with, including many, many multicultural affairs, a very, very strong Hawaii club here at Baylor, which I'm actually one of the advisors. So love to see you guys here and a part of that. We sit on the largest river in Texas, the longest one. And so we're one of only a few schools that has a marina, but also our athletic venues actually face the water. So like that's our football stadium. You can actually bring in boats into the stadium. And you've heard of tailgating. At Baylor, we're able to sailgate on this very, very large river. Study abroad, we believe in a globalized approach to education. So we have over about 100 different programs in over 50 different countries around the world. And being such an old institution comes with the benefits of having lots of traditions, some that are extremely unique to Baylor and only exist at Baylor. And I could talk about that for days. We have the oldest recorded homecoming in the country. And if you think that's not a crazy remark, it's actually, if you go to the Smithsonian Museum in DC, you can see that. Baylor Line is another fun tradition that our incoming freshmen take part in prior to all of our football games. All universities sing. Dr. Pepper was founded here in Waco, so something that's kind of fun is that every Tuesday for an hour, anywhere on campus, students can have unlimited Dr. Pepper floats. Just a few deadlines to keep mindful of. A lot of you are juniors, but coming on, these are some deadlines to keep mindful of and types of applications that we have. November 1 and February 1 are your main ones to keep tabs on with the different applications that exist. And we're on 3 types of applications: Common App, Baylor Online App, and Apply Texas, all free for US students. You can find all of our required items online, but if not, I'm there to provide those for you, as well as recommend. We have a big event coming April 10th. Please, virtually, please attend if you can. If not, please do take a snapshot of my information, and we are here to serve you guys any way we can. So thank you so much for your time, and it's been an honor.
Thanks so much, Baylor. Next up, we have Grinnell College.
Hello, everyone. I want to share my screen with you. I'm hoping you're all seeing the Grinnell College screen. Uh, my name is Sarah White. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Admission here at Grinnell and Athletic Liaison. Before I get started, I just want to acknowledge that I'm here on the land of the Meskwaki, the Sauk, and the Iowa people. Now, extraordinary journeys seldom begin in obvious places. I want to share with you about one of those places, Grinnell College. I'm not going to quiz you on how well you know your Iowa geography or your Midwest geography, but Grinnell is located in the heart of the Midwest. We like to think of ourselves as conveniently located between the two coasts. We're about an hour from the Des Moines International Airport, any time of the day, any day of the week. We don't have the traffic like you all have on the H1, depending on where you're going and what time of the day it is. Grinnell is located in Grinnell, Iowa, which is a community of about 10,000 people, and the college is located just a few blocks from downtown. Our student body is about 1,700 students, and all of our students are undergraduate, which means all of your classes will be taught by a professor, and when you need help, you'll actually go to the professor for help. We are also very fortunate in that we have over a $2 billion endowment, and that makes a lot of things possible on our campus. Grinnell students find their way to Grinnell from all over the world. Our classes are discussion-based, so it's very important to have a variety of viewpoints represented. We have a unique curriculum called the Individually Advised, which means outside of the requirements for your major, students only have one required course called the first year tutorial, which is both a welcome to Grinnell academically and socially the first semester you're on campus. Then outside of that first year tutorial and requirements for your major, all other courses are looked upon as electives for you to pick and choose from with the guidance of your academic advisor. And one of the main reasons why this style of curriculum does work for us is because of the very strong mentoring that students do receive from the faculty at Grinnell. At Grinnell, we do have a three-pronged advising system. When students arrive on campus, they receive an academic advisor, a Center for Careers, Life, and Service advisor, and a residence hall advisor. These three advisors really help guide and shape a student's individual Grinnell experience. At Grinnell, we recognize that learning takes place both in and outside of the typical classroom setting. Grinnell students work closely with the Center for Careers, Life, and Service to discuss not only what life after Grinnell might look like, but what opportunities do they want to take advantage of during their time at Grinnell. Some of those opportunities might be for a Grinnell-funded internship or an industry tour. One of the best kept secrets is that some of the very best internships in the country, they don't pay you to do. And if you do get one of those internships, you can apply for funding through Grinnell. Grinnell really works hard to level the playing field so that everyone has those opportunities. Everybody has access to everything. While some Grinnell students do choose to go directly to graduate school, others enter the professional world. Bottom line is, a Grinnell education opens the door to a variety of opportunities. Now, I'm sure one of your questions has to be, what in the world is there to do in a small town in the middle of Iowa? Well, we see the fact that we're located in a small town truly as an asset to your college experience. You're going to have the opportunity to be part of a robust, intentional community. A typical year at Grinnell, there is over 100 different clubs and organizations, over 500 different campus events, and everything is free and open to everyone. We are Division III in the Midwest Conference. And in addition to that, there is a plethora of fine arts performances, speakers, entertainers brought to campus. We strongly encourage our students and provide funding for off-campus study and student research opportunities. 70% of our students will participate in off-campus study in some way, shape, or form, either through kind of the typical semester off campus or by one of our course-embedded travel opportunities. In addition, about 55% of our students will complete a mentored advanced project before they graduate, or a MAP. And a MAP is where a student either individually or in a small group designs their own research project. And that research can be done on Grinnell's campus, but it also can be done anywhere in the world. And then we work with students to have that research presented not only to the campus community, but to provide an opportunity to have that research presented in a professional setting. Now I'm going to talk about everybody's favorite topic, admission and financial aid. Admission at Grinnell is holistic. Students, we're looking at you as a whole person. We're taking into context where you're graduating from and what opportunities were provided. Grinnell is also need blind in admission for domestic students. We meet 100% of institutional need. We offer merit scholarships and we package our students with no loans. I could go on and on about Grinnell, but my time has come to an end. So if you do have further questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Next up, we have the University of Massachusetts Lowell. Take it over, Joanne.
Thank you, Jeff. Hi, everyone. I'm Joanne Germano with the University of Massachusetts at Lowell. And I actually like to start with a minute video and then I'll talk more about our university. But just to fill you in, I have been with the university about 8 years now. I'm based in California. I cover much of the Western US, including Hawaii for us. So I'm your point of contact, but I'm sure you maybe haven't heard about us. So I will play this video here.
The University of Massachusetts Lowell is a nationally ranked public research university committed to transforming hardworking students into leaders and innovators. With more than 120 majors and more than 70 master's and doctoral programs, UMass Lowell is renowned for its excellence in engineering, computer science, criminal justice, healthcare, and entrepreneurship. Integrated throughout the historic mill city of Lowell, Massachusetts, UMass Lowell's 18,300 students study in world-class facilities on a vibrant, modern campus. The UMass Lowell Riverhawks compete in the NCAA's Division I, led by its perennial powerhouse men's hockey team. UMass Lowell's focus on co-ops, internships, and experiential learning help explain why its alumni enjoy among the highest starting and mid-career salaries for public university graduates in the nation.
So you can get a flight into Boston, jump on the train from downtown Boston and get to Lowell in about 35 to 40 minutes. We're right on the New Hampshire border. It's a very scenic campus right on the Merrimack River. A quick snapshot is right here. We're mid-size, about 11,000 undergraduates, but we have over 500 full-time professors. So your average class is going to be about 25 students. We have a pretty diverse undergraduate student population in terms of color. We have 38% students of color. Students are coming from every state in over 100 different countries. Everything is direct entry. We have over 100 programs you can choose from. So if you declare engineering or nursing, you start right in the major. There's no waiting around for your classes. Specifically in nursing, you can graduate in as little as 3.5 years with your bachelor's. That program is accelerated. We're the first school in the country to have plastics engineering. Those students do a lot of work with prosthetics. If you're into music and engineering, we also have sound recording technology. We were the first school in the country to offer that as a master's program. If you want anything in the STEM, business, psychology, criminal justice, public health, You can do a bachelor's and a master's in just 5 years. So we have accelerated options for you where you save time and money, and then you're eligible for a higher salary. We do a lot of hands-on work. Additionally, if you want anything in the STEM, you can take 6 extra classes and earn a teaching credential at the middle school and high school level. Currently, we have over 200 company partnerships globally. Specifically, Raytheon owns a floor of our engineering complex. They hire a lot of our students. If you're interested in healthcare, we partner with the Boston's Children's Hospital, the Leahy Clinic, and Mass General, which are some of the best ranked hospitals in the country. So you can shadow some top doctors and nurses. Our students are involved, whether it's an internship or a paid internship called a co-op, they're involved in their major in their junior year, they're working with a company. Because of this, 95% of our students are employed within 6 months of graduation. In terms of campus life, there's a lot of fun. In a normal year, we have 10 concerts. We've had Drake, Billy Joel, Snoop Dogg, all come to campus to perform. We've had Oprah on campus 2 Novembers ago to help fundraise scholarships for our students. In terms of athletics, you will find a lot of excitement at our university. We are in the Division I America East Conference. We also have over 275 clubs and organizations you can get involved with, some Greek life. If you're interested in studying abroad, we have 300 different locations among 40 various countries that you can travel to with scholarships to help cover those costs. In terms of applying, we are on the Common App Coalition app, and we have our own application. Our averages are right on the screen. We do a holistic review, and we're also test optional. So if you're not quite at a 1240 SAT or a 25 ACT or a 3.6 GPA, that's okay. We will look at the letter of recommendation, your essay, any extracurricular activities that you might be involved with. If you do apply test optional, there's an additional essay that you can opt in to fill out. For our out-of-state students, there's 3 different deadlines, but if you want nursing, you have to apply by November 5th of your senior year. And I have fee waiver codes, so you can contact me so you can apply for free. But we have great merit scholarships. They range from 10 to 20,000, and they renew until you earn your bachelor's, and they'll be right in your acceptance packet. We're hoping to next year continue our fly-in program where we cover a lot of the costs to get you to visit campus over our admitted student day, which is typically in April of your senior year. I would love to talk to you more, but that is all the time I have about UMass Lowell. So now I'm going to take it back to Jeff for questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Joanne. Appreciate that very much. So I thought this afternoon, before we wrapped up, I would ask all the representatives to come back on screen and give us an interesting fact or fun fact about their college or university. And we'll simply go in the order that we presented in. So, Kay, I'll let you go first with Macalester College.
Awesome, thanks. So I did mention one of our main core values is internationalism. And this was a core value that started up mid of the 20th century after World War II, when our president decided to fly the United Nations flag on campus. We were one of the few schools that actually do fly the UN flag. And it's part of the reason why we have a lot of students will go off and work into the United Nations. And then subsequently, ex-Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, was a Macalester alum. So pretty cool.
Very interesting. Baylor, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I'll give you a fun one. We actually have an accredited zoo on campus with live North American bears. So I wasn't kidding when I said everything in Texas is bigger. You can actually walk on campus, and it's a bear habitat. So it's got caves and everything in it. And as you're walking to class, you can see the bears interacting with each other, and it's pretty cool. And it's a student organization that cares for them, along with professional staff as well.
That's pretty fascinating. Let's see, Grinnell, Sarah, what do you have for us?
So I'm going to give you a fun one as well. We talk a lot about coming to Grinnell and being part of the community. And when we talk about being part of the community, we're not just talking about the Grinnell College on campus community, but the greater Grinnell community. So one of our study breaks is actually the firefighters in town come and they make pancakes for our student body. And all, well, not all, but several faculty and staff who have puppies bring their puppies there. So it's called Pancakes and Puppies. And it's a very well attended event, usually during finals week or right before finals week, later in the night. That really is a community building activity. So.
Now, can visitors come to that and bring their puppies and eat the pancakes as well?
Jeff, if you come, we'd be happy to host you. I'll even meet you at the door with chocolate milk.
There you go. There you go. Joanne, wrap us up with UMass Lowell.
Ours is kind of fun too, and along the lines of animals. For our means to be more sustainable and going green in the spring and summer months, we've brought in sheep to our campus to mow the lawns to save on emissions. And so that's been fun to see too.
That is very fun. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Really appreciate that. On behalf of the institutions and StriveScan, please feel free to fill out the survey when we're done here. If you have any questions for the institutions, follow up with them individually. And I will wish everyone a great rest of the day. Stay safe. Bye-bye now.